Jamie is a single mother who works 2 jobs.
And I can tell you being poor sucks and my kid can't read.
Nona is a teacher who has lost her drive to inspire students.
And they're figuring out what kids are going to drop out so they know how many prison cells to build.
Fed up with the neglect of their students, they decide to take over their school in Won't Back Down.
Hi, I'm Leah.
Hi, I'm Teresa.
And I'm Sean.
And we're here to discuss Won't Back Down. We've all just seen it. Teresa, what'd you think?
I didn't know that I was signing up for a really big anti-union propaganda film. I thought I was going to watch this underdog story about a woman who wanted to help her child at school, but I was shocked at what I saw, and I didn't like it.
I completely disagree in a lot of ways. I think it's just a good story. I don't think it's an anti-union story at all. There's a problem. We want to fix it. This is what we're going to do to go about and do it. And it's inspiring that they set out and say, hey, we want to stand up as individuals and make something right. And I don't think that makes an anti-union picture.
What is disingenuous about the film is it masks its right-wing politics with populism, okay? It plays so fast and loose with not only the facts and parent trigger laws that the premise is completely implausible. Here you have a low-income parent working 2 jobs who, upon discovering that her child is not being taught well enough in this school, she decides, let's start a school.
You want to start a school with me?
What?
I can't take this anymore, and somebody told me that if you find a teacher and you stick with it long enough, you can turn a school around.
Waiting for Superman worked because it is a documentary, it's real, but there's something about this movie that's just too artificial. They take reality and that's how you get the message. But in this movie, they came in there with a message and then try to have a story around it, which is why it's so artificial, which is why it's so pounding you over the head. It's just too much.
Maggie Gyllenhaal's character, who is Jamie, she's not particularly compelling. The Viola Davis character, known as Nona, is just kind of rudderless. Everything feels very artificial. Everything feels very put upon. It's like the director really wants you to get behind these characters in this film, but they don't really give you a reason to do it. And so instead, they jam the soundtrack with this sappy, sentimental music that, you know, really kind of works antithetically against what you're seeing.
Like Tom Petty?
We get Tom Petty at the end of the movie.
We get Tom Petty twice, and Tom Petty's not a sentimental music.
No, we're talking about the score.
Okay,
we're talking about the score that goes on for the majority of the film.
The head of the union, he was very cartoony as well as just whenever he gave his speeches, it's just like, you really, as an audience member, if you didn't have another view similar to our view, is that you would think, oh man, the unions, they really are evil. They only care about protecting themselves. It's just like the speeches that he gave were just too on the nose. We're not anti-union, we're for the kids, which I've said several times, but it's like, no, you've set it up to where it's so black and white. It's like, she's great, the unions are bad. Let's battle. How are you supposed to not come away thinking this is an anti-union movie?
Several reasons, because Holly Hunter is not a cartoon. Holly Hunter's part of the union. She's not the boss of the union. The boss of the union, I can see where you could say that he's cartoony. I think he's a corrupt individual within something that could become corrupt.
If there had been moments where somebody actually bothered to bring the unions together with the teachers, with the parents, with the kids, and really figure out how we get to deal with that conflict, then I would say yes, it's the fair and balanced approach.
You set up that there's all these like bureaucratic things you need to do, but at the end it's like, oh, we just have our feelings and we're gonna take a vote. You can't have that.
And so we gotta do something right now.
We need to fix Adams, and we need to fix it yesterday.
Your turn. The film's execution in terms of developing really compelling characters, which I really just didn't care one way or the other whether Jamie was successful or not. I didn't really care whether Nona was successful or not. I mean, the emotional investment that they're asking us to make in these women is just not there.
Well, maybe that's where it hinges.
And that's where it hinges.
Maybe that's where it hinges beyond anything else, because I did. I cared about the women, I cared about their children and their children's future, and so I was able to get behind it and just kind of go with it. It is schmaltzy. I mean, there's some of the dialogue I just simply didn't care for. There's dialogue where she says, there are mothers who can lift 50-ton trucks above their babies, but they're nothing like me. I mean, I don't like lines like that.
That was a little over the top.
We know it's Pittsburgh because everybody seems to wear a Steelers hat or there's Steelers banners everywhere.
Right.
And that's how we indicate the city. I don't like those things, but I just thought that it was just kind of an old-fashioned tale, and I enjoyed it.
While this movie may have the same message as Waiting for Superman, it came across as too heavy-handed to be enjoyed. Skip it.
Won't Back Down would like to be populist rebel-rousing, but instead it's just disingenuous and dreadful. Skip it.
I'm sorry, ladies. I just thought this was a nice, old-fashioned, inspiring tale, and I won't back down. See it.
Our votes add up to 1 ticket, which is a stream it for Won't Back Down. Cheers.
Cheers. How about the Tom Petty, huh?
You know, I like the Tom Petty part.
That's good. Teresa, you're such a curmudgeon.
Oh,
Man, how did I become the curmudgeon
You're
of the
just
show?
a curmudgeon.
it's just about the kids. We have to come together and unite just for the kids.